So what did you find? What kinds of things did you see that were naturally occurring? What kinds of things did you see that struck out to you as being human-made? Well, if we look around here in just this humble little backyard, of course we can see some structures like my purple garage here, my neighbor's satellite dish, a chain link fence, and we see some things that might look natural. The snow on the ground, precipitation, the trees that are there in the foreground, leaves and soil. But let's think a little bit more critically about how that ecology came to be. Right over here, we see some scraggly plants here in the winter, and we also see the edge of a tree. Both of these species are ornamental species that were planted. In the one case, so let's take a look at the corner here where we can first start seeing some of that human-influenced nature. For example, this tree growing here is something that was planted. It's an ornamental. This is a member of the viburnum family. And if we move along that purple garage, we can see vestiges of ornamental roses there growing next to the tree and as well off in the corner there. Along that chain link fence, we see some ornamental grasses as well as berries that we planted. Strawberries and raspberries, things that look pretty and have nice flowers but also provide a little bit of fruit. Something really important to me as someone who loves delicious fresh fruit and loves to give them away to neighborhood kids that come by, and that my own 3-year-old daughter likes to go and pick when they're fresh. We can see something as well that wasn't planted by me or planted by my neighbors, but still has a human connection to it, still has a human story to it, because we see those sticks up there. These are paper mulberries. They've got some fruit that we like to eat, but they're not native to this part of Indiana. They're not native to this part of the country. These were brought in as part of a big push hundreds of years ago to grow trees quickly, to have a kind of a feed and a fuel for silkworms and the nascent North American silkworm industry that didn't pan out, and they quickly took root and became invasive across this entire region. They are now considered to be a bit of a weed. We see these human histories all around us in so-called natural landscapes. We're part of them, we're shaped by them, and the actions that we take shape them in turn. What's really exciting is the capacity to go out there and know all of these. With the roses, with the strawberries, with the paper mulberries, come insects that eat them, come birds that eat the insects, come a whole habitat that isn't natural, but is in conversation, in harmony with human systems. What we'd like you to do now is to go out and explore your own spaces. To go out and find somewhere that's interesting or important or maybe just ordinary to you. Your own backyard, a park where you like to play, a busy roadside. There is ecology all around us. Define your area, set up your grid. For me, it was my backyard. For you, it could be something as large as the corner of a city park, or it could be the corner of a street. But set up your defined area and keep track of all of the living things that pass through that. Spend about half an hour in this space and write down all the plants that you see, weeds growing up through the sidewalk, different kinds of grasses that you see. If you don't know exactly what it is, that's okay. Just keep a record of what these different species are. Insects, birds, mammals. Remember, people are animals too, and we count in these kinds of landscapes. Keep track of everything that you see through there in that half-hour period in your defined space, and we'll come back and share these for the next step.